Hey there, Arma here. Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today, I want to focus on another mental health topic, which is narcissism. And I wanted to do a series on this, just talking about different things within narcissism. Um, and the reason why I want to speak more on narcissism because I've had my fair share of dealing with people who are narcissistic, people who are self-centered or egotistical, or people that see you as less than. And I just kind of wanted to help contribute to the community of people out there that are sharing their experiences or stories, and helping educate others on narcissism. And I think more and more people should be aware of this, especially within the social media world and just being on the internet in general, not only in person. So, yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the manipulation tactics narcissistic people use to gain control over you. So, let's get into it. So also note, guys, please bear with me. This is my first time actually talking more in depth with talking more about narcissism in this fashion. So just please bear with me and just let's just get into it. So the first manipulation tactic that narcissistic people will use is flattering. And what does that mean? It's basically a way that narcissists could put on their charm. Their charm is, trying to loosen you up. Their charm is basically, in a way, setting you up for a trap. It's kind of like the bait to for not only for them to receive compliments back, so they feel good about themselves, or feel or look good in front of others, but it's the bait. It's trying to see try it's in a way like a sometimes narcissist people use it as a way to test you, to see like, okay, based on the way I say this to them, if they respond this certain way, maybe I could manipulate them in this way or that way. So I have some examples. So for instance, like someone over complimenting you, hoping maybe they'll receive compliments back, or like you may say something that can trigger something in their mind. They're like, oh, I'm really they really feel they are a great person, or just they might say or do things to get a response out of you that would make them look good in front of others, right? So my second example is maybe saying kind or funny things like to loosen you up, uh, make you more vulnerable. And at this stage, this is what is called them putting on a mask. And I'll probably speak more about like the narcissist mask in another video. But basically, the mask is like, for example, if you watch Scooby Doo TV show, they'll see the person, they'll find out who the person was in the mask or in the costume the whole time, and it ended up being someone that they knew, that they thought was a good person, but it turns out that they weren't being who they truly were. So they're usually shocked or surprised, right? So that's the mask. It's like, having this like fake emotional shield, you know, like to help put on a show, to help charm you. So that's kind of like what flattering is. So I have an example here of like what the narcissist wants your reaction to be versus like how you should how you should think when you're fully aware of like certain manipulation tactics. So the narcissist, when they're flattering you, they want you to feel happy. They want you to be emotionally blind, like, cause you're kind of in this daze of like, oh, they really care for me. Oh, they really like what I'm doing and what I represent. Another thing, they want you to feel more open to like, I guess, express yourself in a more like sharing more personal details, maybe. They want you to feel excited. They want you to be like, they want you to gain maybe some more desperation for their attention, and how you should really be feeling like once you're fully aware and you're like looking out for red signs, like red flags of manipulation is like why so many compliments? Maybe they're kind of complimenting you back to back in a fast pace, like in effect, like fast timing. So you might ask like why so many compliments like this fast? Do they want something in return? Like why are they complimenting me? Another thing is maybe questioning their reasoning. Just being aware of like why are people saying what they're saying. Another thing is if you're in person with a narcissistic person, or if at the time you're unaware of like who the person you're near, who they really are, if you don't know, like another thing is like knowing body language that can help you be more aware and more, um, I guess, open to noticing the red flags when I guess people are trying to manipulate you. That helps. So there's also a similar term to flattering, which is love bombing, and that term is usually known for romantic relationships. Like, for example, someone may try to want to be with you, like be in a relationship with you because they want to use you for something. And I'll probably get more into that maybe another time. So, another manipulation tactic that narcissists use is projection and gaslighting. Now, these terms are much more well known when it comes to narcissism, and because it is the main primary goal for narcissists to get something out of you or someone because they're in it for themselves. So okay, so this is a tactic they use to make others doubt their self, their feelings, their intuition, right? So you may be in a situation where some narcissist says something to you that makes you like second guess yourself when deep down somewhere in your subconscious you feel what you feel is right, but you're second guessing yourself like maybe was I too harsh, was I too controlling, were they right, was I acting outlandish, was I acting too extra. They just put you in a position where you're second guessing yourself so that you're more easily manipulated, right? So these things like gaslighting is it's a pattern. You'll notice it as a pattern. Like it happens multiple times, right? So they also use it because they don't want to take responsibility for their actions. So they have to find a way to make you second guess yourself so it throws you off guard and takes the tension away from their wrongdoings. So, an example could be maybe during a disagreement, someone calls you crazy and tells you you're overreacting, and really because you're calling them out on something awful or crazy they've done and said to you, right? So, if you think about it, like what situation, I'll ask you this question, was there ever a situation where deep down in your heart you felt you were in the right to speak up for yourself, but the person you maybe projects and says, "Nah, you're wrong. You're thinking crazy. This is not what it is. I don't know what you're talking about." So now you're kind of like, "What?" Like I know what I feel, and I know exactly what you did. You did me wrong, but then you go into the phase of second guessing yourself. So another example I have here is someone telling you to relax, or oh, it's not a big deal, it's all in your head, after they did something to you that's terrible or traumatizing to you, right? Like the last thing you want to hear is when someone does you like wrong or bad in a way, and they're like, it's no big deal. Like What? Like, why are you whining over it? It's no big deal. Like, grow up. Like, that's the last thing you want to hear, right? So projection and gaslighting for the narcissist is a power move. It's them not taking accountability of what they did and re- just trying to suck up all of the awareness you have towards their wrongdoings and them like taking it all and like basically throwing it back in your face and twisting it up in a way that doesn't make sense to you, so now you're confused. Okay, so the narcissist, when projecting or gaslighting you, the narcissist wants your reaction to be upset, guilty, disappointing yourself, desperate, second guess your true inner feelings. They want to leave you feeling powerless. They want you to feel out of place. Okay? So, when you're thinking about red flags of when it comes to manipulation, gaslighting, projection, it's always important to make sure you reassure yourself about your true feelings. Like, this is my gut feeling, my intuition is saying this, I'm gonna stick with it. Another thing is being honest about what you feel versus what they're telling you. Because believe me, I've been in situations with narcissists or just people who are self centered where they only think about themselves and you kind of like you're debating with yourself internally like, oh, were they right, or like, am I right? Am I selfish to think that I'm right and to follow my intuition because of what they said? So it's just always, being aware of what they're saying versus what you actually feel and know, right? Another thing is, does their words match their actions? Are the things they're saying about themselves or towards you match their actions? Does it match the actions you did to them? So when realizing these red flags of gaslighting and projection is all about figuring out what makes sense and what doesn't, and following your intuition as best as you can. Okay, now we're getting into where things get a little more aggressive with the narcissist. They use a manipulation tactic called badgering. And what does this mean? It means that a narcissist will do anything in their power to get what they want from you instantly. So, there's relationships I have heard of, like, where, let's say one partner is out and about doing important things late at night, they come home, and then the other partner, the narcissistic partner, let's say, is badgering them, asking all these straight quick questions. Where were you? Why were you there? Were you with this person? This. So they're making demands, asking similar questions repeatedly over and over till they hear an answer that they like. So it's not necessarily about finding the right, truthful answer. It's just repeating these similar questions so that, you know, it can help their ego in a way when they finally get to hear an answer that they like. It's not about you, it's about them. So for an example, maybe a partner yelling, questioning you over and over, like I mentioned about a location you came from. It could be someone demanding you to do something, or pressure you to accept their beliefs or ideas. So yeah, and like I mentioned, guys, these are all like patterns. So most likely, if you're in a relationship or a friendship with someone narcissistic, or maybe it could be your boss, family member, whoever, if you're noticing badgering, where there's always demands or asking questions over and over to the point where you're getting tired and worn out and they just want to hear what they want to hear, then you can consider this a red flag. It really depends on the situation. But most of the time, you guys gotta remember that this is for manipulation. So it's a way to get something going for themselves. So when a narcissist is badgering you, they want your reaction to be frightened. They want you to feel intimidated, of course. They want you to feel pressured. They want you to think and act quick because they're trying to get the answers they want. They're throwing out demands, so they want you to like hurry up. I need this answer from you now. To help myself out. It's for me, right? They want you to feel nervous. They just want you to feel uncomfortable, basically. So, when you're trying to look for red flags with badgering from a narcissist, you wouldn't think like, why the rush? Why are they demanding me? Why are they asking me the same questions over and over? Why are they pressuring me to do something I don't want to do? Are they aware of my boundaries? Are they respecting my boundaries? Are they being disrespectful or rude? Is their reasoning valid to be so demanding and to ask certain questions? So, blame shifting and shaming. This is another. Okay, I see the typo. It's alright. We'll keep moving though. So this is another tactic used when narcissists feel the need to like take shame off of them and put the blame on someone else because once again they cannot take responsibility for their wrongdoings, right? Um it's about not being the bigger person for them, right? So for example, say you have a project with a classmate and then you guys do bad on the project and then your classmate comes up to you and says, "We got a bad grade on our assignment because of you. This is all your fault. So don't talk to me again." So you see how right there, just in that example, they're kind of like putting all the blame on you. Like when this is a group project, right? It should be. There's no I in team, right? That's how the saying goes. So why? Because you fail, they're putting all the blame on you for the failure when we're both on this project together. Maybe give me some constructive criticism on you know maybe what I did wrong, and I'll help you out in the same way. It's all about teamwork. But then again, it's blame shifting. They don't want to take any accountability. They want to throw it all on you. They don't want to even mention that, okay, you know what, maybe it's both of our faults. How can we sit down, come to a solution? You know? So, another example could be a family member says, "I can never have my friends visit me anymore because you're always being so loud. I knew you never cared about me." So, you see, once again, putting on the blame on someone else. So, what does being loud have to do with you not caring about someone? You see what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, some people can't help being loud. Some people just laugh loud, or just having a good time, or just naturally loud. But you should never put the blame on someone else about, like, oh, I can't have anyone visit me because you're so loud, or oh, you never cared about me. Like sometimes you can't control certain things like that, but it's in situations like this. What a neurotypical person would do is they would. So when it comes to neurotypical people, and say they're in that situation, right, where someone says, "I knew you never cared about me," it would be more first thing, the conscience, right? I don't know if I said that word right, hopefully, but the conscience would think like, man, hmm, am I like being this way? Is it really affecting the other person? I don't mean to come off rude or be extra when I'm being loud. Sometimes I don't notice it, but for the other person, it's all about them, right? So it's kind of like these extreme, like these extreme things they're saying to you about something that's so simple or that could be handled in another way, if that makes sense. Okay, so the narcissist, when it comes to shaming or blame shifting, the narcissist wants your reaction to be upset, ah, upset, guilty, disappointed in yourself, a change in behavior. They want you to, once again, another way of second guessing your actions. They want you to feel like you're losing something important. So them putting all the blame on you, they want you to feel like, man, was I really this way, or should I really have, acted that way? Oh no, I don't want to come off that way. I don't mean to. So they want to put you in a position where you're kind of like, you feel like you're losing something. You feel like you're an outsider of the situation. So once you become fully aware of blame shifting and shaming, you're confused by the outrage, of course. You want to create distance between you and the other person. So that's why setting up those boundary blocks is very helpful. And sticking to what feels right with you. And as much as you can, it sounds like so easy to say than done, but just be aware if you sense any signs of manipulation. It's not always easy to tell, right? Because you don't want to come off like too harsh or over judgmental. But once again, if you're getting red flags and you feeling in your intuition and you know this person longer and you're seeing this as a pattern, then you might wanna kind of evaluate where you go from where you stand and where you want to take the situation with the other person. Okay, guys, so this has been a surface level of different manipulation tactics that narcissists, self-centered, or egotistical people may use to gain control over you and do and say certain things to help benefit them, or to gain power away from you and give it to themselves. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys could relate to this in some way. I just want you guys to know also that whoever is watching, that NPD or narcissistic personality disorder has to be diagnosed by a professional, right? But people have been in situations where it's so telling that, yeah, this person is most likely has a personality disorder, because there's been so much research and videos and just different resources out there that can help people be more educated on narcissism. So just be aware and just know that a lot of times, mostly everyone has narcissistic tendencies, but when things become a pattern and they become more frequent and more like devastating, and you're noticing these red flags and signs, then it could be a different situation. So, with that being said, share your thoughts if you can relate to this, or you feel like someone else could use this information. Be sure to share and like the video. If you're new, be sure to subscribe if you like content such as this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and take care.